Morning people. Well, this weekend went a bit iffy. I hurt my back on Friday, so that was the end of this weekend's camping. But I was still determined to do something. So I've come to the local park, it's just across the road from where I live. And I thought I'd just have a bit of a play with the tarp instead. So we'll see how we go. Apologies if I'm a bit slow creeping about, but I'm not all that comfy. But see what I can do. Okay. Right, I've just popped this one up quick. Takes about, I don't know, 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most. I'm sorry I couldn't actually film the process of doing it because I don't have a tripod-y thing. I've only wandered about here with a phone in my hand. It'd be a bit tricky with one hand, but just to show the finer points, as it were, show how easy it is. Simple stuff. Just anchored it to a tree, about head high, something like that. Gone for the central tie-out loop down one side. Just pulled it up to about waist high, I suppose you'd say. Once you've done that bit and connected, it's pretty plain sailing really. Back corners, just pull them out as far as they go, nice and tight. I've used my orange pegs so you can see them quite simply. Peg the corners, and at the front side, if you want it maximum length, you could obviously just peg the other set of corners at full stretch. But I like to make a bit of a sort of a door, porch, if you want to call it. So I use the second tie-in point, it's in slightly. Just put it tight along the side there, it forms the shape quite easy. And then the proper corner ones, I just peg them in a little bit, so you get a bit of a door effect. If you're somewhere quite open, it helps keep the wind out. If you wanted it, really windproof, these corners, you just move inwards a couple of feet, make your tie-out point slightly higher, and then these sort of door flaps would almost meet in the middle, keep the draft out. Quick, easy setup, plenty of space inside. I've used a walking pole for lifting the roof. You don't have to, it works without. I've done it without loads of times, but that does just make it a bit more usable. And as you can see across the back there, you've got the full 3 metre, 10 feet of length across that way. Probably got at least 8 feet, 9 feet front to back. Normally when I do this setup, I'm sleeping that way, head by the door, helps cut down on the condensation. Easily get a second person on the other side, no problem at all, with room for bags in the middle. You could get 3 people in here without a problem really, but tons and tons of room if I'm on my own, and quite comfortable for 2 people. Yeah, so that's that one. My favoured one really. I do like that. Simple, effective, a bit like me really. Right, let's try a different one. Right, we've gone for, I don't know what you call this, a raised peak diamond. Right, how about that for a name? Really easy. One corner, tied up the tree, Again, head height. You have to get the tip of the tarp almost touching the tree. Opposite diagonal corner. Just peg it out so it's, you know, tight from the tree. Again, the left and right corners just pegged out tight. So it does make a huge shelter, this one. Not one for a windy day, because it does catch an awful lot of wind, especially if you've got the front end facing the wrong way. But it does make massive space inside, really does. I mean, it's as simple as that. Again, I've used the walking pole just to lift it all up, open it all up a bit. It's not necessary, you know, you can just have it tight, but it's only half the height. Fine if you just needed somewhere to sleep, but at least when it's like this, I mean, there's room to sit under here, no problem at all. I mean, that walking pole is extended to I think 135 centimetres. I think the lock-off marker thing shows on it, and obviously, you know, towards the front here it's that and a fair bit more. Again, full length sides, so you've got 10 feet 3 metres either side, so two of you could sleep left and right there. You've both got your feet to the point in the middle, and there's also plenty of room if you've got such luxury of bringing camping chairs. You can have a couple of chairs probably, or at least one, depending on how big you are. One person sitting in the middle under cover if it's raining. It's nice, just a nice big open setup, easily done. But I say, a still day really. You don't want it in the wind, it will take off. Right, that's that one. If you want a bit of shelter from the weather, but still have it fairly open, this is what I favour really. Simple ridgeline, 2 pegs at the back, but I don't use the end loops, I use the loops 1 space in, so you can make a bit of an overhang there. Just keeps the rain off if it does start to rain a bit. Obviously, again, it's not a storm-proofy job, it's one for good weather, but it gives you a certain amount of protection. It's got to be horizontal rain really to blow in that way, unless you've set it up skew if and it's blowing in the side, obviously. But again, loads of room underneath, sleep a couple of people no problem. And it's a nice, easy, quick, simple one. Just 2 pegs at the back, corners guide out the way. It's simple as that really. Yeah, there we go. All of these have been done using the DD multicam 3x3. Nice bit of kit. I wasn't too sure when I first saw the camouflage, but I actually quite like it. Blends in quite well. And I'm a big fan of the DD products. I've got their sleeping bag as well, which is nice, and DD hammock. Yeah, good guys. Okay, that's that. Okay, I've moved underneath the trees because it was getting a bit hot out there in the open. Plus, I needed 2 trees. Simple A-frame shelter. Anyone can do this. Been done a million times in different ways and whatever. But, you know, it's all good as long as it's not windy and not blowing through there, because it is a real tunnel. Simple line round the trees, through the loops at the top to support it, and prusik knot on each end so you can do the tensioning. Now, if it's good weather and you're using a bivvy bag, the other thing I like to do is this same setup, but on one side, try and do it at one end, rather than peg it down. Use a walking pole, or you know, an appropriate stick if you haven't got walking poles. do the two corners on one side, opens up to a nice big shelter. You know, if you wanted more room, you could always go up with your tree tying point there, go up to 5.5 feet I suppose. It would mean your backside there is quite vertical, so you'd lose a little there, but you'd gain an awful lot in roof height, shall we say, of the flat bit here. Nice simple setup that is. Got your guy lines on each corner, so you can just put your walking pole or whatever you like underneath the corners, making sure you pad something on the top, obviously, so you don't damage your tarp. You don't want anything poking through it. I use my gloves, bring a set of gloves with me, stick a glove over the top of each pole or stick, whatever I'm using. Use the guy lines, guy it out to keep it upright. Makes a nice big usable shelter. Right, just a few simple ones they were. Obviously there's hundreds of different combinations you can do with a tarp. They're so versatile, absolutely love doing it, love playing with it. It's just, I don't know, it's fun every time we go out. So yeah, I'm not going to film anymore. I could do loads, could go on, but it'll just get boring as hell. So I'll call it there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Great, so you've been running around like a lunatic while I've been playing with the tarp. And now I'll get the camera out and film you. You're just going to stand still like an idiot. What do they say about never work with children and animals?